The Ivory Coast is spending millions of dollars to become a hub for business, medical, and leisure tourism by the end of the decade. But it is an uphill battle for this emerging country. I-24 News correspondent Pierre Clochendler filed this special report on assignment about why the government is confident it will soon become a top destination for jet setters.
To cross the mouth of La Paz, where the Ebrié Lagoon tries against the current to set its sights on the Atlantic Ocean, you must take a motorized canoe. Only a few tourists, mostly Ivoirians, borrow it.
The real problem is the start of the school year, and then maybe the rain. An infected person can go to the water. That's also a reason.
The pandemic, the rainy season, school fees are not conducive to tourism, but do not seem to dampen the Minister of Tourism enthusiasm about the ambitious project to hoist Côte d'Ivoire amongst the top 5 of African tourism.
This service economy, the tourism industry, has a bright future ahead. It's when we come out of this crisis, when we're in the midst of this pandemic, that we must have a bold vision.
The African stars play a Zouglou tempo for themselves, one with a djembe drum, another with glasses and bottles, setting sail under the ocean's wind as best they can. A popular local style, Zouglou music champions the social realities lived by the working class men and women, youth in search of a vocation, but who often seem left behind.
Notwithstanding Côte d'Ivoire's development, there's no career. You can tell yourself, I'm going to do this. And then, well, your dreams sink badly. You just do what you can. I've got no vision. I can't predict what's to come.
77% of Ivorians are under 35 years old.
Tourism is the only sector that offers employment prospects for both the skilled and the unskilled.
There's no other work. That's why we're here to sell oranges.
It's all of these economic actors who currently work in the informal sector that we want to formalise and integrate into a more dynamic economic fabric. We're going to organise workshops to allow them to understand their role and what we expect from them, and to tell them that tourism is made for them, that they have their place, and they must not be afraid.
30 miles away from Abidjan, the former French colonial capital and trading post of the old Gold Coast, is emblematic of a country rich in culture, but whose tourist circuits are only slowly developing. Bearing witness to the unilateral relations between colonizers and colonized, then to the independence movement, the French quarter of this seaside resort, with its grand old colonial buildings, the former post office and customs, the Hôtel de France, or the slave prison that the Christians claim for the Sunday Mass, is decaying, its monuments devoured by vegetation, ravaged by rains, sand, and ocean spray. Grand Bassam is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, but funds are lacking. Only the Nzima Grand Palace, where the annual Abissa Festival is celebrated, has been renovated. The long, wild beach is mostly popular with Abidjan slums residents. The Étoile du Sud Hotel is not fully booked, far from it. In 2016, at least 19 people were killed here in a terror attack perpetrated by Al-Qaeda in the Islamic Maghreb. At the local arts and craft market, wood carvers await vacationers, but the political and security crisis of the past still have a negative effect on tourism.
Whenever there are small problems, it's the artisanal sector that pays the price.
The Sublime Côte d'Ivoire, here it is. As for an inclusive Côte d'Ivoire, it'll take time to emerge. Pierre Clochendler, I-24 News, Grand Bassam, Côte d'Ivoire.